Good morning, San Diego. Welcome to Homefront. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, in studio with co-host AJ Brooks. AJ, we've got another great show coming on.
We have a special show lined up.
We have a very special show. This is an employment special edition because we know that the folks that are watching are either looking for work right now or will be looking for work in a few months, or who know people that are looking for work. And so we've got some incredible employers who are actually looking for military spouses and dependents to hire them. We've got 24-hour fitness. And we've got AT&T. And you've got some great information for us about drones.
I won't drone on about it, Eve. We talked about this. But it's an emerging sector, and most people think of drones now as a toy. But an unmanned aerial vehicle is a technology that has applications all across employment, and we're going to talk a little bit about that.
It's so exciting. And then we've got our real estate segment with Ignacio. Super excited to see what's come down the pipe on that. So what do you say we get this show started?
Let's do it here on Homefront.
Welcome back to Homefront. We are in our special edition all about employment. And as promised, we have John Scherff from 24-Hour Fitness to tell us about why they love to hire veterans and what they're looking for to do in 2017. John, welcome.
Thank you.
You guys have an impressive goal for 2017, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later because we want to know first about you and your progression, your start in the military, your progression, and then how you transitioned out. And you jumped right into 24-Hour, which is a wonderful story.
Yeah.
So tell us about your military experience.
Okay, well, I joined the Marine Corps almost fresh out of high school. I graduated from high school and I started college, and at the same time a friend of mine joined the Marine Corps, and he was kind of pudgy, kind of out of shape, actually really out of shape.
I hope he's watching.
I hope he isn't.
Oh, no.
Not really a stand-up guy. I won't mention his name.
Right.
And I remember thinking the Marine Corps is just going to eat this guy up.
Yeah.
And so I went off to college, and he went off to the Marine Corps boot camp, and then he came back, and this guy legit looked and acted like Captain America. I mean, I couldn't believe this spectacular transformation. And the more I hung around him, the more I wanted to be like him. I want to be Captain America too. Wow. So I kind of considered my options, and I decided to drop out of school and join the Marine Corps and go on this big adventure.
Did you become Captain America?
Well,
you're a Marine. Come on. Yes,
that's right.
Just say yes.
All Marines are Captain America.
So then talk about your progression through the service.
So I joined as an air traffic controller. This was shortly after Reagan fired all the civilian air traffic controllers, and so all the military air traffic controllers got out and got those high-paying jobs. And so my recruiter really pushed me into that field. And I learned pretty quickly that you can be phenomenally good at a thing academically and phenomenally bad at it in real life. And I was a terrible air traffic controller.
Okay.
People who are good at video games are good at air traffic control. I'm not good at video games, not good at air traffic control. So I quit that job, fortunately, before I killed anybody, and I moved into the infantry. Yeah. And in the infantry, that was right about the time the Marine Corps started sending out desktop computers to all of its units. And the battalion that I was in got 3 of them, and they sat on the desktop literally for 6 months without being touched. Nobody learned them, nobody knew what to do with them. So I saw that as an opportunity, and I took it upon myself to grab the manuals and study and learn. And I learned everything there was to know about them at the time. I learned how to program, and then I used that knowledge to automate some of the manual processes in the battalion. And that got the attention of the Division Information Systems Management Office, who needed programmers. So they poached me from the battalion that I was in and got me a lateral move or a transition into the information technology field in the Marine Corps. And that's where I spent the last 17 years of my career, bouncing from coast to coast, doing various jobs.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
And that is really what you do right now at 24-Hour Fitness. So
That's
what's
correct.
your title over there?
I'm currently the Senior Director of Systems Engineering and Information Security.
And so for the edification of our viewers, because your story is fascinating, and you have a lot of points along the way where I think we could find encouragement and learn lessons from you.
Sure.
So it wasn't easy when you jumped out of the Marine Corps into the civilian workforce. You really had to work a network. Talk about how you did that.
Well, it was kind of a freak out for me. You know, I mean, you spend 22 years, what do they say in Shawshank Redemption? You spend long enough and you become institutionalized, right?
Right.
But it's a brand new thing, and it's scary. And I really only had one job my entire life, and that was the Marine Corps. I never had to interview for that job. I just had to fog a mirror at the recruiter's office.
Right.
And so A couple months before I got out, I called a friend that I served with in the Marine Corps who was now the CIO, the Chief Information Officer at 24 Hour Fitness, and I asked him, hey, can you hook a brother up and give me a couple of test interviews so I can practice a little bit before I interview for my real job? And he did. He set up, I think, 3 interviews, and it was actually one person who was a former Marine, one former Navy, and one former Army person. And it was kind of a grueling 8-hour process, but I fell in love with the company. I met the employees, I met the information technology team there, and it felt like home to me. It felt like the best of all the jobs that I'd had in the Marine Corps, except I didn't have to put on a uniform.
Right.
And so, but I finished that process, and I went on my job search, and I did several interviews. Some went well, some not so well, some jobs that I was really interested in, some that I wasn't really interested in, but I never got that feeling of home at any other companies or in any of those other interviews, and I just kind of kept thinking back about 24 Hour Fitness. And about a week before my actual last day in the Marine Corps, I called him up and I said, listen, I just really like your team, and I'd like to be part of it. Is there any job that you have for me? Can I work the service desk and work my way up? And he said that morning, 3 hours before I called him, a person who had only served like 1 month in this brand new security analyst job had quit.
Wow.
And he said, if you want it, the job is yours.
Wow.
And
incredible.
And the rest is history.
So network, network, network. Don't give up. Keep making those phone calls. And now, what is 24 Hour Fitness doing to hire veterans today?
Well, we have this program called Boots 24. So 24 Hour Fitness recognizes the sacrifice and the dedication it takes to serve in the military. And really, they make the best employees too. So we want to get that awesome talent and that awesome motivated workforce on our team.
Yep.
So we started the Boots 24 program, and the goal of Boots 24 is to hire 2,400 veterans, reservists, spouses, and dependents by the end of 2017.
Outstanding.
And I think we're about halfway there, and
wow.
we really like veterans. So come fill out an application and join the team.
What types of roles are you looking for?
All kinds of roles. I mean, you can work down in the club as a personal trainer. We have information technology jobs, marketing jobs, the same kinds of jobs that you see in any company.
What other ways does 24 Hour support veterans?
Well, 24 Hour Fitness has supported veterans since the company's inception back in 1983, which is the year that I joined the Marine Corps, by the way.
Wow.
And in a lot of ways, we donate equipment. We allow people to work out for free on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. In fact, it's kind of a symbiotic relationship with local restaurants, because restaurants give free meals on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So
we can go work them out.
Well, that's right. You go pig out, eat lots of dessert, and then come down to 24 Hour Fitness and get a free workout and sweat all that stuff out on the gym floor.
I love it. Well, thanks for all you do for our veterans. How can we get a hold of you?
By phone, by email. You take
website?
Your website, www.24hourfitness.com.
Awesome. John Scherff, thank you so much for being a part of our show. Thank you for all you're doing to hire our veterans, our spouses, and our reservists. You guys are doing a great work at 24 Hour.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. We will be right back with more of Homefront. Don't go away. Welcome back to Homefront. I'm Eve Nasby in studio with AJ Brooks. AJ, you just got back from North Dakota.
I sure did.
How fun was that?
It was a ton of fun. You know, Eve, it's the least visited state in the Union.
There's probably a reason.
Well, it's cold, and so a lot of people are scared of that. But it's also got a ton of space, and it's got an incredibly innovative governor. And there's an opportunity to do some things in a place like that you can't do here in America's finest city.
Like fly lots of drones, which is why you were out there.
That's right.
So tell us about that.
You know, I would say 20 years ago, there was sort of an emergence of the beginning of the dot-com boom. And when something's unregulated and there's an opportunity for wealth or opportunity for employment, sometimes it grows too fast. And I know that a lot of people, do you have someone in your family or someone you know or a neighbor that has a drone that they operate in the neighborhood?
No, not legally anyway.
Not legally. And that's something that's really important.
Right.
So they held a conference in North Dakota because North Dakota's got great universities, it's got a brilliant citizenship, and it's also got a really diverse economy. They just went through sort of a boom and sort of a leveling off because of fracking. And fracking provides energy stability. It also requires a lot of oversight.
Right.
A veteran, a good friend of mine, Justin Scholes, is a former Marine captain. He worked for the governor, and he went to the Naval Academy. And he has lots of friends, and he himself is an aviator. He's also an innovator, and he's looking for employment, and he invited me to go to this. North Dakota was an incredible host. And one of the things I learned about, there are so many startups, there are so many applications, there are so many people recruiting people into the industry because it's increasingly regulated.
So talk about the different things you can do with drones, because most people just think we take them to the beach, we take pictures, you know, that's pretty much the limit of it. So and Amazon's coming out with drone delivery, I can't wait for that, but talk about what you learned at this conference.
Well, you mentioned several important things. You know, one is people operate drones without doing it under the law.
Right.
It's something that grew so fast that the regulation's finally catching up. I would encourage people to log on to www.faa.gov. And in addition to the Part 61, there's also something called a Part 107. It's the license you need to operate it. Just like operating a car or flying an airplane, operating a UAV requires a special type of certification. And that training that goes towards that certification is something that you can do on the ground.
Right.
So it's an opportunity to be a licensed pilot.
But they're using it for agriculture too.
Sure. So when you mentioned Amazon earlier, Amazon delivers packages, and we understand how that works.
Right.
But an operator has to be able to move that safely and legally, and make sure as drone traffic increases, it's just like the advent of the automobile. You've got to have rules of the road.
Right.
You have to have rules of the air.
Right.
So agriculture, security, all types of other applications. There was actually a drone film festival in conjunction with a conference.
A drone film festival.
A drone film festival.
Yeah, you can film drones from the, that was so great.
It's just exciting applications for that. So anytime there's an emerging technology, there's opportunity.
Right.
And the focus of this show today was a special show on Homefront focused on employment. And we wanted to focus a little bit outside San Diego, here in America's finest city, to sort of a hub of innovation.
Yep.
When you have 3 million people in one county, even a big county like San Diego, you need to get smart on how to do it in a way that's compliant. Real estate can use drones. Agriculture can use drones, security can use drones, and people that are leaving the service or thinking about a career change need to get prepared for that.
Right.
And I think one of the most important things is education and certification.
Yep, and we have a big employer here in San Diego, General Atomics, that has the UAV. So there's opportunities not only here in North Dakota, all over the nation, to become experts in drone technology.
When I first was commissioned as a Marine officer, we worked with an unmanned aerial vehicle squadron. And a lot of the other pilots used to make fun of it and call it the Remote Control Airplane Club. But that club of people has a very valuable experience and something that's applicable outside in the private sector.
And you know, there's a lot of different applications for that too. And we watched some of those drones land on aircraft carriers. There's a lot of military applications as well. What was your favorite part of the conference?
I just think the complexity. You know, Secretary Chow came, so we had someone at the highest level, the Secretary of Transportation, come and talk about sort of a strategic overview of drones. And I don't think I really considered that unmanned aerial vehicle systems had so many applications to hear that level. Also, Governor Burnham came because it was a priority for him as the governor of the state. You know, even though he grew up in North Dakota and understands what a grain silo looks like, he was also an innovator and became a billionaire in the software business. And he's bringing a private sector mentality to public service. And like I said, North Dakota is one of the least visited states, but what it has is land and space, and that's a great place to create sort of improvements in next generation in the sector.
So exciting. Well, AJ, thank you for sharing this exciting new technology and this upcoming surge of places where we can find employment. We can go to school and we can learn how to drive these things and how to build them and make them better. So thanks for sharing that.
Eve, it was exciting to get away from being a host and go be a Homefront field reporter for a change.
I love it. Well, AJ, you're amazing. We just love having you a part of our show.
Thank you.
We will be right back with more of Homefront. Don't go away.
I came into my transition with an extremely short timeline, and I didn't have the resources or the knowledge to know what I needed to do or where I needed to be looking for my next job. THF gave me direction, helped me look inside myself, and made me ultimately successful in taking that leap from the military sector over into the civilian sector.
When I was 19, I set sail with the USS Camden en route to the Persian Gulf. We were actually on board for over 30 days in the Persian Gulf, and we just did operations. After the 30 days, we were finally able to go to shore. We're all excited. And they told us the only place you can go is this location. And so we got on a small bus. We went to that location. The only thing there was a small building, and it said USO/AT&T. And there was a bunch of phones there, and there was a sign that said that we can call home, and we have a 30-minute time frame. So I asked, I said, what's the catch? I can call home. What are you trying to sell me? What do I have to sign up for? And he said, absolutely nothing. This is our thank you, our gift to you. Finally get a hold of my mom, and immediately she screamed with delight. She was beside herself. And so we talked for 30 minutes. And then I went to get up and let my mother go, and he came over there, put his hand on me and said, no, you don't have to. There's nobody else here. Please talk as long as you want. And we talked for hours. Ever since then, I've been extremely loyal to AT&T for that.
Welcome back to Homefront. I am Eve Nasby in studio with one of my most favorite people here in San Diego, John Osborne from AT&T. John, welcome.
Glad to be here.
Okay, AT&T is off the charts of amazing. We're going to talk about all that you're doing for veterans and getting them hired and helping them with their businesses. But we have known each other for, 6 or 7 years, and we were both interviewed on a TV show together in Oceanside.
How about that? Come full circle.
I know, helping veterans, and that's your passion. And you've been with AT&T in June. It'll be 33 years?
33 years in June.
A long time. And I think everybody here in San Diego knows who you are, representing AT&T in so many different community events and outreaches and support that AT&T offers to our veteran community. So thank you for all you do. And let's just jump into this. Let's talk about, because this is our special employment segment, let's talk about what AT&T is doing and has done to employ veterans around the United States.
Well, AT&T is a big supporter of veterans, as you know, and for the last 100 years, AT&T has reached out to the veteran community to support our military, and we're proud to be able to hire a lot of veterans at AT&T, and we've done a lot of work to embolden our systems and our employees to go out and hire veterans. So there's a number of things that we've done.
Well, you're kind of humble there. You've hired a number of veteran employees. Can we give actual facts about how many thousands you've hired?
Well, let's talk about the 100,000 jobs mission that was started in 2012 by JP Morgan Chase and 10 charter companies, of which AT&T was one. And they said, let's have a plan to hire 100,000 veterans over 5 years. So AT&T raised their hand and said, we'll take 5%. We'll hire 1,000 veterans a year for 5 years. So we started down that track, and what we found is that the people we were hiring were so good and were so successful in the jobs that we were hiring them into that we decided we could double down on that and make it 10,000.
Oh my gosh.
So
wow.
At that point, we, in just a little over 2 years, had hired 2,700 veterans, up the ante to 10,000, found the program continued to be so successful that we doubled down again, and we said 20,000 by 2020.
Wow, that is so exciting.
So how are we doing?
How are you doing?
13,000 to date, hired by, we're now May 2017. That was as of February. We've hired 13,000. So we're going to hit that 20,000 number. I'm very confident about that.
That's incredible. So for our viewers who are thinking, oh my goodness, I want to work at AT&T, talk about the different positions, just high level of what you're actually hiring for.
Well, at any one point in time, we have somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 jobs open at AT&T. And so it really runs the gamut. Most of the veterans that we've hired have gone into technician jobs. So there are line people, they're working on switches in our central office, they're doing fiber splicing, things of that nature. But the jobs that we have at AT&T really run the gamut, from CPAs, from human resources, to external affairs, to planning, program management. I mean, you name it, we have those kinds of jobs. It's a big company, and as you know, we're an entertainment company now.
Yes,
DirecTV,
yep.
Now in the AT&T fold, and soon we'll have Time Warner Entertainment on board. So. Yep. You know, AT&T is evolving. We're an evolving company, and it's not the company that it was 100 years ago. It's very diverse, a lot of entertainment, and everything now is about being mobile and video, watching what you want to watch, when you want to watch it, and where you want to watch it.
So the sky's the limit. So you can literally have any set of tools in your belt and be employable by AT&T. Now, you guys also have an MOS translator, because oftentimes folks who are transitioning out of the military military find it difficult to actually translate their skills into the civilian work speak. And if you can't do that, it's death on your resume, right? You're never going to get a job. So talk about your MLS translator.
That's right, Eve. And so we've put together a lot of tools to help veterans feel more comfortable as they're interviewing for jobs and looking for jobs in the entire telecommunications ecosphere. So not just at AT&T, but it certainly would help with us. But we have put together a number of online tools. So we have the Military Occupation Service Translator, so you can translate your military skills into more civilian jargon. So it just helps to bridge that gap. We have, if you go to att.jobs or att.jobs/military/mil-spouse, you can navigate to a number of different tools that are there to help you as a veteran find your way into a position that would fit your skill set at AT&T. Wow. And then not only that, but we hired a military talent attraction manager who has two roles. One role is to work with the military and educate them on what kind of jobs are available at AT&T, who are we looking for, what types of people we're looking for, and then internally to go back on the AT&T side, work with our managers and say, these are the kind of people that are available, these are the skill sets that they have, and there's no stigma at AT&T about hiring a veteran. In fact, we want veterans to self-select so that we can bump you up on the priority list saying, you're the kind of people that we want, you're the kind of people who have proven to be successful in our business. So that's just some of the things that we've put together in that regard.
And you work really hard to get people to AT&T, but you also work really hard to keep them. And part of that retention strategy is your ERG program, which is kind of okay. It's kind of big. Talk about the ERG program. I think this is so exciting.
Employee resource groups,
Yes.
our ERG program. So we have a specific one for veterans. It's been around for 30 years. We have 9,600 veterans in the company that have chosen to be members of the employee resource group. So what do? They go out, they volunteer in the community, they help with charitable events, but they volunteer their time with other veterans who are coming on board or prospective employees who would like to chat with a veteran online and say, hey, I'm thinking about coming to AT&T. What's your experience been? Have they been good to you? Does it work for you? Do you think it's a good career move for me? And so those veterans in the ERG can volunteer their time to be that bridge. And then once people are hired, now there's a kind of cohesive network where there's a brotherhood of veterans who can call on each other and say, hey, I'm having trouble relating with this one manager. What would you suggest? How do I proceed? How do I advance in my career? If I want to go to somewhere else, what's the process? How do I do that? You've got friends there in the ERG.
That's so exciting. So from beginning to end, AT&T takes care of its military. You take care of the community. And I just love all that you guys do. Thank you for being a part of our show. We'll have our viewers check out your website to get employed by AT&T and to use the tools that you have on there. So thank you again, John Osborne.
Hey, we'd love to have them. Thanks, Eve.
Thanks. We'll be right back with more of Homefront. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Homefront. I'm Ignacio with Synergy One Lending. Today I'll be hosting the homeownership segment, and I'm a loan officer with Synergy One, specializing in first-time homebuyer loans for our veterans as well as non-veterans. Today I have one of my favorite agents, Michelle Cook with Realty One Group. She has a listing that she would like to share with us. Michelle, tell us about your home.
This is a great home located on the top of Dictionary Hill in Spring Valley. It has absolutely gorgeous views, and from the wraparound deck, you can enjoy these beautiful views day or night. Watch the sunrise, the sunset. It is 1,230 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And one thing I love about it is downstairs it has a built-out basement with a separate entrance. And you can, do whatever you want down there. And it also has a 2-car detached garage with plenty of parking.
Oh, Michelle, that basement, I grew up in Southern California and we don't have basements. So what I would do in that basement is I would make it into a total man cave, put a pool table, foosball table, some video games, and just a place where I can go hang out after, working or just to chill with the boys. That'd be super cool to have a basement. And Michelle, what's the price point for this home?
It is priced at $440,000, perfect for a VA loan. We love our VA buyers.
No, you're absolutely right. That's right within the limits. And for those of you that don't know, a VA loan You don't have to put anything down for a down payment. You do have to put a deposit, an earnest money deposit, which sometimes can range in the $1,000 range. So if you're trying to buy a home, all you need is like $1,000 to put down for the earnest money deposit, and then most of the time we can get you most of that money back. So I think that's really cool, Michelle. If somebody wants to get more information about this home or about yourself, how do they do that?
This home does have its own website. It is 9431 eucalyptus.ihomenet.com. And for all your North County home needs, particular Escondido, we do have a team that's experts all over the county, Riverside County as well. You can go to the website profitteam.com, PROFFITT team.com for all your North County needs.
Michelle, that's really cool. That's one of my favorite things about you and your team, that you guys can help our veterans in San Diego, wherever they're stationed, whether they're up in Pendleton or they're down south in Coronado. You guys can help them purchase a home in Temecula, Murrieta, North County, or this home that's down here. And I mean, that's really good to know, because a lot of the veterans don't know that they can get somebody like you to actually take them wherever they're stationed. I mean, some guys are up in North County that they don't think that somebody can help them, maybe if they want to look at areas down here in San Diego. So I'm really glad that your team is able to help all of our VA buyers. So, thank you. Thank you for showing us the home. And I appreciate you coming by and sharing it with us. I hope it won't be the last time.
No, we love working with our VA buyers, and it's so important. Our whole team is educated in the VA loan process, and it's so important and to know all about it. So we love to help.
It is, Michelle. Thank you so much. And so I just want to let you guys know that if you guys have any questions about maybe, if you want to buy a home or if you're thinking about listing your home, definitely contact Michelle and her team. They are experts in the VA sector to where they can help you list the home for you guys. And if you want to find out what it takes to get pre-approved for a loan, definitely call me. I'm Ignacio with Synergy One Lending. I can be reached at 760-473-3903. And we'll be back with more Homefront.
Welcome back to Homefront. Wow, we had a great show, AJ.
It was a fantastic show.
And you did not drone on and on and on about the drones, but how fascinating is that?
It's a technology that's been around for a while, but as far as regulating it, employing it, and using it in new and exciting ways, an unmanned aerial vehicle film festival. Think about that for a minute.
I love it. And then, of course, John Scherff from 24 Hour Fitness, looking to hire 2,400 military folks before the end of this year. And then you got AT&T wanting to hire 20,000 more folks out of the military before the year 2020. I mean, that's just incredible.
I want to go out there and get a new job.
I know. I think both of those guys would hire you on the spot. I have your resume.
Well, I need to get back in the gym if I'm going to work at 24 Hour Fitness.
You can go to 24 Hour Fitness, get back in the gym. Well, you know what, AJ, we've had some great guests, and we also are looking for more guests from our audience. So you guys, if you know of anybody that needs to be on our show that's doing great things for veterans, please let us know by going to homefrontmedia.org. Send us messages on Facebook, go on LinkedIn, Instagram, smoke signals, we don't care, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. So from all of us at Homefront, have a great week.